beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It is a crappy, rainy, hot, muggy day in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border in the crown of Maine. I hope everybody is having a nice, warm, sunny summer day wherever you are. If you are here vacationing in Aroostook County, you might be here this week for the Potato Blossom Festival. We're hoping we're going to have a good week for that. We really do need to have an amazing Potato Blossom Festival because a lot of nonsense went on last week, which I'm not going to touch on in this video because there's enough to think about with this video in and of itself. Today we're talking about cognitive warfare, the battle for your brain, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful creatures of the world. There's a battle going on, and you're in the thick of it. And there are three types of people. The people that saw this battle a long time ago. They have cried their tears. They have cut their losses, and they are no longer afraid of the boogeyman in the closet, the what could be's, the future. They've resolved within themselves, they've rectified in their mind what is happening, what could happen, what they'd rather have happened, and they've gotten it down pat, and they're doing things to, for lack of a better word, prepare for any circumstance that may arise. Then we got the people that are living over here in this village. They don't want to hear nothing. They live in the freest country in the world. They were born here. They got no skin in the game. They can say what they want. They can do what they want. And when you don't agree with them, they will shout you down. They live in their feelings. Isn't that nice? They live in their feelings, whether their feelings are warm and fuzzy, whether their feelings are ice cold, whether their feelings are open or empty. They live there, and you'll live there too. Then we have the people in the middle, and those are the people that we're really concerned with. Stuck in the middle with you. They're the people that used to be over in this village. We'll call it the Idiot Village. They lived over in the Idiot Village, and something happened to them. A switch was flipped. An event happened in their lives that woke them up. The scales have just fallen from their eyes, and they're looking around and living a life in shock, horror, and in awe at the reality of what's going on around them. And those are the people we really have to have a lot of empathy for. Those are the people that we have to help through this process. We have to sympathize with the trauma that they have been through. There was a time the people in this camp over here that's already rectified everything, knows what's going on in the world. There was a time you were in the middle too. You just don't remember it. It's been so long ago. When you first found out that the world you lived in was not the reality that you lived in. And it was hard. We've forgotten about that. And some people that live in this camp over here that have things figured out, they become very, very bitter. And that's where this conversation was derived from. You're not better than anybody else. You're different. You have a different normalcy bias. You can handle different things. The people in the camp that was awakened at a very early stage, a lot of us are desensitized to what other people think and feel. We're desensitized in a way because it's been a while since we got out of bed and woke up in a whole new world. For us, it's kind of, oh, didn't see that coming. Should have had that on my bingo card. All right, somebody comes up to you. They're very excited. They're overloaded, and they're telling you about a situation that just happened. And you're like, yeah, it's 2024. What do you expect? We have become, for lack of a better word, hardened to possibilities. The people in the middle, they got it rough. And we really do need to sympathize and empathize with them. Cognitive warfare is a very simple game that they play. It is simply an attack. It's an information overload that is specifically designed to paralyze your ability to make a decision, whether it's a big decision or a little decision. You are living in a state of 24/7 fear, and the human body was not meant to live in the fight or flight response with the switch in the on position all the dang time. Your brain needs a rest. So how do you get that rest? You turn off all the background noise in your life, including the dramatic people. You got to compartmentalize them. You got to shut them down. You got to build a boundary and say, listen, I know you're prone to be very dramatic. However, this is what I'll put up with, and this is what I won't put up with. So don't cross the line. And you need to be assertive. And you need to keep control of that boundary. This isn't the red line that keeps moving everywhere. This is the red line that is red, and ain't nobody getting past it. You have to build up a little bit of a resolve. Grow a spine. Get your backbone going. Sit up straight. You have to stop listening to news. You have to stop listening to a cycle of 24-hour podcasts, including this one. You have to stop watching woke movies. You have to stop reading the woke books. You have to stop dealing with the woke music industry. Go back to the 70s. Read books from the 70s and 80s. The banned book list. Listen to music from the 70s and 80s. The soft rock, the love songs. Every bit of culture affects your mood and it affects your decisions. You need to go back into a much simpler time. Even if you've never experienced that much simpler time. Maybe you're in your late teens, early 20s right now. Your parents have talked about the simpler time that they grew up in as Gen Xers. If you're a millennial, your mom and dad have told you the stories of how they were thrown out of the house in the morning, had to fend for themselves, and when that street light came on, they better get home. Those were simpler days. Immerse yourself in the culture of Gen X. Go back into the 80s. Go back into the 70s. You'll find that we were very fun people back then. We're still fun now. But we were just different. We were different. We were responsible. We were 30 at the age of 9 and we're 30 in our 50s. And that's just kind of how it goes. We've always been responsible for ourselves and others. I've been responsible since I was 9 years old for younger siblings. So there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, the only thing you need be concerned with, the only thing that you need to worry about in your life right now is what goes on in your life right now. The people you see every day, that's your reality. It's not what's going on in Washington. It's not what's going on in the world. It's not the economy. It's not the inflation. None of that matters. Yes, things are getting more expensive. It impacts you a bit, but it is not where your headspace needs to be. Your headspace needs to be on the people that live in your home, the people you see every day, the people that you have heartfelt discussions with. Nobody wants to talk about this. The people that you do things with. You go out, you go for a walk. You're making memories. That is what is important to you. What's going on between NATO and the BRICS nations not as important to you. There's no direct impact right now on your life because of that. What is important is that you make memories, you have fun with the people that you see, the people that you can touch, the people that you can hug, the people that you can have an honest conversation with. The economy. The only economy that matters is your economy, your personal economy. It's the money that you are bringing into your household that pays your bills. It's the only economy you need to be concerned with. Are you making enough money? Can you eat? Can you keep shelter over your head and your family's head? Can you clothe your children and yourself? Can you get yourself back and forth to work? If you cannot, then you need to make the decision to either A, get rid of some of the useless debt that you're carrying. And by useless debt, I mean you got a cell phone. It's got data on it. It's got a hotspot on it. Most plans. That hotspot can run your laptop. That data lets you watch these ridiculous podcasts on. Why are you paying for the cable company, the fiber optics into your house? Why are you paying a double data debt? You can cut the cord. People don't want to downsize. But that is where your focus needs to be. If you can't downsize anymore, then you have to think about getting a second job. Or if there are other adults in the family, say you're a stay-at-home mom, you may have to think about getting a part-time job while your husband works a full-time job. Or vice versa. You need to look at your life and try to figure out where you can dispose certain debt without ruining yourself financially. We need to get back to nature, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world. You need to take your shoes off and walk across the earth with your naked feet, and you will see that you feel a lot better. Your mood starts to elevate. Scientific facts. We're back in the era of misinformation and disinformation, things that they want you to know and things that they don't want you to know. So we're back in that. We're slowly sinking in it, and I'm sure it'll ramp up, and there'll be a lot that we can't talk about. Oh, we have to code talk. My grandfather was a radio man during World War II, and he could break code super fast. He was shot down over Germany and held in Stalag 17 after he recovered from breaking almost his entire body. He spent many months in a German hospital. They patched him up, put him on a death march to Stalag 17. So we're used to code. We like code in our family. My grandfather's favorite thing was cryptography. And he taught all of us how to successfully, quickly crack the cryptograms. There's a secret to it. So we don't mind cryptic things here on Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. We rather enjoy them. It's a puzzle. You need to figure it out. Everything is upside down and backwards. Yes is no, no is yes. We used to play that with my grandmother. We call it opposite day, and we drive her absolutely insane, me and my cousins. When we meant no, we'd say yes. We'd declare opposite days, and she'd forget, because we'd tell her, it's opposite day. And we'd tell her, and she'd forget, and then she'd get so frustrated, we'd all get punished at the end of it. No beach today. You're stuck. It's a frustrating thing when you're seeing something and somebody's telling you you're not seeing what you're seeing. It's absolutely frustrating. It's the same thing is true in the new philosophies that they're coming out. It's opposite day. You see the memes all the time. Don't follow your heart because it's stupid. Follow your head. Your heart is dumb. You need to get out in nature. You need to touch grass. You need to feel the stress, the depression, the brain fog. You need to feel that lift, and you do feel that lift when you are in nature. And I don't care who you are. You can be from the idiot village over here that doesn't have to pay attention to nothing because they were born in the freest country in the world. They feel it too. They just will never admit it. They know that nature turns off the fight or flight switch. And once that switch is turned off, once you're not seeing boogeymen around every corner, once you can breathe deeply, you start to see the fog in your mind clear. My grandmother always told me, if you have a decision to make, no matter what the decision is, you're going on in life, situation happens, you need to make a decision. Sometimes it's a decision between a good decision and a bad decision. Sometimes you're in a situation and you get to choose between a bad decision and a slightly worse decision. Sometimes it's not all that lovely rainbows and roses. You know, hey, obviously if I do this, everything's going to be fine. If I do that, it's going to get shittier. But there are a lot of nuanced decisions in life, and that is what the cognitive warfare is doing. It is screwing up your ability to make nuanced decisions. Sometimes we just don't have a good decision. It's a bad decision and a more bad decision. My grandmother always told me, you go out in nature, go down the park, take a walk down the park, go sit by the ocean, because I grew up by the ocean, grew up in the ocean state, go down the street, go sit by the water, and then I want you to ruminate on your situation, which for those of you who don't know, means just dwell on it a little bit. Your heart's going to tell you what to do, because your heart is your passion, and your passion does not lie. Your heart knows who you are. Your heart knows who you want to be. Your heart knows where you want to be. Your heart knows what you want to be. And if you're in a relationship, your heart knows who it wants to be in a relationship with. Your head, number than a stump when it comes to those decisions. Your head does things with logic. One foot in front of the other. Step, 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 like a march. You know? Your heart's your dreams, your desires, your passions. When my cousins was dating, I didn't date much. I met my husband when I was 11 years old. We were friends. I got cute. He became my boyfriend, then he became my husband, and that was the end of that story. My cousins had boyfriends and girlfriends, and my grandmother, sometimes they liked a boy or a girl, but they liked another boy or a girl, and everybody was hanging out together. And my grandmother would always tell them, listen, when you go to bed at night, I want you to take notice of who is the last person you think of, and when you wake up in the morning, I want you to take note who is the first person you think of. And that is the person that you're supposed to be with. Because it's all in here. It's in your heart. Your heart knows your desires. Your heart knows your wants and your needs. And when you start listening to your heart and not your brain, because your brain is going to put you on the march, and sometimes it's a death march. Your brain is going to put you on a march in logical, consecutive order. Your heart, that sucker's going to run wild, and it's going to twist you up, and it's going to spit you out, and it's going to be the best memories of your life. Another thing that you need to do is start having human contact. Remember we talked about the people around you? The human contact. Stop isolating yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful creatures of the world. People are not scary. People are amazing. People give you energy. People make you want to be better than what you are. People make you want to do better than what you are. People make you want to love. Some people make you want to not love. But people make you want to love. Love you, love them, love life. It's human contact. And if you are in a marriage, a very committed relationship, you need to pay attention to your intimacy. You can't let what's going on out there affect what's going on in your home. Check in with your spouse. Check in with your loved one. Are you okay? How are you doing today? Himself and I do that every single day. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Did you sleep well? You look exhausted. Is there anything bothering you? And above all, Pay attention to your sex life. It is very, very important. The feeling of an empowered person often happens if they are intimate with their partner. You can break any man or woman simply by withholding intimacy. They feel less than. They start doubting themselves. You need to make sure that you are having regular intimacy with your partner. Strengthen that bond as a couple. Because strong couples, strong relationships can withstand the ocean slamming at the door. You can get through any economic situation. You can get through any emotional situation. You can get through life by leaning on each other, and the people that want to lean on each other the most are the people that know each other the best. People that aren't playing games with each other. You're not angry and withholding. If you're angry, fix it before you go to bed. My grandmother always said that. It's grandma-isms today. You can have all the arguments you want during the day. Before you go to bed, you have to tell each other that you love them. And you have to sleep in the same bed. Nobody sleeps on the couch. Nobody's ever slept on the couch in our house. We may have put barrier pillows between us, but nobody's ever slept on the couch in our house. It wasn't allowed. Because once you start that bullshit in your marriage, in your relationship, if it happens once, it'll happen again. And the arguments could get more heated, more volatile. Could be one night on the couch. Next thing you know, it's going to be 2 nights on the couch. Then it's 10 nights on the couch. Then it's separate bedrooms. My grandmother was a stickler for that. And I thank my grandmother for every single lesson that she taught me. Because she once lived through cognitive warfare. The same thing happened during the Depression and World War II era. And she knew in her heart human nature would bring us to where we are today. And we would need these skills. So she taught us. I hope that if you are going through the fear and the anxiety of the cognitive warfare overload, I hope that you can see through what is happening. A little bit of meditation. Write down what's important to you in life. And focus on that list. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.